When people think sports in Texas, they usually think of football. But there's another sport that has a rich history in the Lone Star State.
Hey, sweet girl.
It's the high-energy equestrian sport of polo, and Texas is the place where cowboys become kings on the field. Polo is known as the sport of kings because it was used to train royal cavalry in the Middle Ages. And although the sport isn't used for battle techniques anymore, it's still an aggressive game.
So short of going to war, it's less dangerous than that because we're not using swords. But it's rated to be as dangerous as right below auto racing.
Injuries are part of the risk players take when they jump onto a polo pony.
You're playing and then you just get off balance. Like when I fell off yesterday, it was because I was going for a ball I knew was too far away. And I pretty much just like launched myself out of the saddle and straight into the ground.
I got hit illegally and two guys hit me on the same side and my horse couldn't really take all the weight, and so his front end went down and she rolled over, just kind of like a somersault forwards, and I was on top of her while it happened. And I got stitches on my chin. But other than that, I was lucky.
But even with the risks, many find the benefits far outweigh the dangers.
The horses themselves are just amazing animals, and they're, riding is so much fun. And so getting on the back of a horse and adding a new dimension by actually playing a sport on it, going after the ball, fighting after the ball, and just the competitiveness and aggressiveness of the sport is just amazing.
Texas has 33 clubs registered with the United States Polo Association. The owner of the Austin Polo Club believes the Central Texas polo community is growing.
We don't have the number of players and that they have in Dallas and Houston, and it's not as competitive, but on the other side, it's not as expensive because we don't have the demand. So we have the opportunity to play a little more comfortable polo. It makes it more accessible to people that are just starting in the game. We do believe that the equestrian community in Austin is strong. It's growing.
And although polo can be expensive and take lots of training, its reach in Central Texas is growing. In fact, there's a team starting up at Texas State University. The newest polo club in Texas started just 6 months ago in San Marcos. But building a polo club from the ground up can be very expensive.
We have to bring in members, we have to charge them money, we have to make sure we have enough money to feed our horses, we have to advertise, we have to really advertise. It's not like most sports, people aren't afraid of picking up a basketball and running down a court with it, but when you try to convince someone just to get on a horse sometimes, that's difficult.
Even on the collegiate level, competing takes a lot of resources.
You need sponsors, and that would fund money. And if you had more money, it would be cheaper for members. That's the major determinant that scares everyone away. What do y'all do? 300. Oh, okay, I'll talk to you later.
Polo competition in Texas is fierce on the collegiate level. Texas Tech's team won regionals this spring, and Texas A&M's polo team won the national title in 2010.
I played bike polo for about 2 years and never really touched a horse before in my life. You got to spend a lot of time working with the horses. You got to feed them, you got to take care of them. They're not a bicycle. But also, when you play bicycle polo, your bike always does what you want it to do. With a horse, you have to work with it, you have to communicate with it.
The UT Polo Club is 14 years old, but it still has a tough time getting its name out in a community where polo is largely under the radar.
I was introduced to the club with 4 seniors, and they all left me the club, basically. And so I tried to, rebuild it, recruit more people, and build the club up. That's still what we're trying to do.
So what's the state of polo in Central Texas?
We've been adding players every year. Been reaching, because of the migration of population in Austin, we see a number of people that have moved to Austin that have a desire to get involved in polo, that have either played in other parts of the country or in the world. We have a lot of international people that are in the Austin area that come out and play. And so, it is growing.
These Texans are out to prove that the sport of kings belongs in the Lone Star State.
I think as long as there's a horse and a ball around, I'll probably be chasing after it.
And for players like Tamer, polo has become much more than a game.
It's definitely going to be a big part of my life. It already has and will continue to be.